Today in History. And now it's time for us to take a look back on what interesting happened on this day in the past.
Absolutely, and here is a quiz question. Here it is. Yes, the United Nations is headquartered in, number 1, New York, or number 2, Paris. Nice and short. The United Nations is headquartered in, number 1, New York, or number 2, Paris. If you know the answer, you can text us, pounder sharp 1045 on your cell phone for 51, or leave your answers on our Bundy board to win a designer's note.
All right, so we're going to be talking about just one very important item today, and here it is.
Today in history. In 1945, the United Nations was established.
That's it. Short and simple.
That's right.
1945년 10월 24일 바로 국제연합 UN이 창설된 날입니다.
Today we commemorate the establishment of one of the largest and most important international organizations of our time.
Yes, and it was on this day in 1945 that the United Nations was formed, currently headquartered in New York and comprised of 193 member states.
Founded initially by 51 nations, the UN was preceded by the failed League of Nations when it failed to prevent World War II.
And now the name of United Nations was first coined by then U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt, and it was officially used in January of 1942 when 26 countries signed the Declaration of United Nations.
By March of 1945, 21 more nations joined in, and 7 months after, the UN Charter, or the document that defined the authority and privileges of the organization, was ratified.
Well, the UN is now the leading body when it comes to international relations and global issues, and its role in world affairs have been established through milestone achievements thanks to the people who could be considered as the heart of the organization.
And they are the UN interpreters who, needless to say, have probably one of the most stressful yet admirable tasks in the world.
Absolutely. And a glimpse of that task was shown in 2005 through the movie The Interpreter, the first time ever that the UN allowed its facilities to be filmed. Well, here's a highlight from that trailer.
Here at the UN. Secret Service. We're with Foreign Dignitary Protection. It's a branch of the United States government.
You're not in the United States. This is international territory.
Do you think you could identify the voice you heard if you heard it again?
Yes.
How'd you happen to be up there after hours?
Right. Interpreter.
Pretty intense. Now,
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah. The movie was fictional, of course, but the portrayal of the interpreter was significantly based and overseen by real UN interpreters.
Ah, really?
Pretty neat, huh?
아, 진짜 그 UN 통역사가 또 많이 또 도움을 주셨군요. When here's a short clip, actually, of what implies to be a UN interpreter. Right.
I think we're going to hear
There you
that
go.
now.
For us all, to do a good job, we have to know what we're talking about. And to know what you're talking about, you have to know what is happening in the world. And for that, we might be more involved than people think. They think that we're just interpreting speeches, but actually no. We are really trying to figure out what
Right.
that country
Okay, that was a clip, and that implies what it likes really to be an UN interpreter. That was quite a flashback because that's what I studied in my grad school.
Oh, is that right? Interesting. All right, well, that's it for today in history. Before we finish up the answer to the quiz, the question was, the United Nations is headquartered in, and the answer is number 1, New York. And that's it for today in history. We'll be back with more on Monday with more from the past.